All right, welcome guys to the NBA live stream here for Sunday. Thank you for coming out and checking out the stream with NFL going on. Again, I was trying to catch the end of that game. Looks like it's over now. So this is going to be a really quick live stream. I'm going to go as fast as I can, 15 minutes. So let's just jump right into it. If you guys do enjoy this content, if you leave a like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that would be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to go team by team really quick and then get to questions at the end. Again, only 15 minutes, so I'm going to fly through this. On the Cleveland side, I have no interest in anyone. Okay, that was pretty simple. Like, you can take a shot on Sexton. I just don't think we have to go there in the slate. I have no interest in the Cleveland side. On the Boston side, not a ton of interest either. I think Jaylen Brown is a nice play at the top if you want to get a little bit contrarian. He just went for that huge game last game. Again, the offense is going to run through him. So Brown's decent. Kemba's fine. Smart's fine. No priorities for me here, though, on the Boston side. So not a lot of interest here in this first game. Charlotte and Orlando. Let's move on to the Hornets. So I think Rozier and Graham are both decent plays in the mid-range, and the reason being is they're playing huge minutes right now. 36, 37, 38, and 38. Basically about 38 minutes again for Rozier as well. So both the Hornets guards, I think, are viable here. I think they are a little bit underpriced. They're going to continue to play close to 40 minutes. Gordon Hayward's fine, but prefer other stars. Again, he's up and down. I'm not playing PJ Washington with Cody Zeller back. You can make the argument for Biyombo for value at 4-3. Still played 28 minutes even with Zeller there. So I guess he's like an okay value, but really there's not a ton I like besides Graham. It's Graham and Rozier for me on the Charlotte side. On Orlando, it's Vucevic. I do like a good amount with no Aaron Gordon in a smash spot here. Really like Vuce. I think he's one of the better spend-ups of the slate. I think Evan Fournier is fine, but I just don't play him. Same with Terrence Ross. These guys will have to do more offensively. If you guys want to go to either Ross or Fournier, I don't think they're terrible plays. I'm just not going to go there myself. Cole Anthony at 5'3", I think a decent play. With no Aaron Gordon, probably have to do a little bit more offensively. I think you can make the argument for James Ennis here. He's played 24, 28, and 28 minutes the last 3 games at almost min price in a good matchup. I actually think he's viable. I think he pushes for maybe 30 minutes in this one. And then I'm not really interested in Gary Clark at 3K. Would rather get to Ennis personally. I just think Ennis is a little bit of a higher floor. And then finally, Kem Birch, I think probably gets a little extra run too at 3.8K. I think he goes a little bit overlooked, but we might get 30 minutes out of Kem Birch. I think he's a good value play. All right, Atlanta, Milwaukee. We're still waiting on the Trae Young news and the Clint Capella news. Like, this changes the slate, obviously. We don't have that news yet. So, like, Trae Young, if he does play, like him for GPPs. Capella, if he does play, interesting play in GPPs, but I don't think he's going to continue to play this well. Now, if both, like, Capella and Trae Young are out, if Capella's out, John Collins gets a huge boost. He'd be a good play. Hunter, Herter, Reddish are all solid plays in the mid-range, nice filler plays. And then a guy like Rondo or Goodwin, if Trae Young is out, would assume one of those guys start. Like, if Rajon Rondo starts a point guard, he would obviously be the best value play. So they just got to keep an eye on that news with Trae Young. Let's move on to Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I really like Giannis at the top. Smash spot here. I know he was a letdown against the Lakers. That was a much tougher spot, though. Close games, we get about 35 minutes for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's almost below 10K, so I do like him a good amount. Middleton and Drew, I think, are solid plays as well in a really good matchup. Like all 3 of the guys there from Milwaukee. Even Brook Lopez. He's playing big minutes, over 30 a game. Again, good spot here, so I think he's a fine play. Bobby Portis losing the minutes, so don't want to go there. And that's really it for Milwaukee. Let's go into Washington, San Antonio. So this is the key game. Real quick, though, guys, if you enjoy the content, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's talk about Washington. We're still, again, this is still wait-and-see approach. We're still waiting on Westbrook. We're still waiting on Neto. So it's kind of hard to say at the moment. If Westbrook plays, then both Westbrook and Beal are decent options at the top, but neither would be a priority. Then Beal looks really good at the top. Roll Neto, got to monitor that. If Westbrook is out, Neto starts. I think he's a solid play. If both Westbrook and Neto are out, then they're going to be thin. So then we look to guys like Jerome Robinson, Garrison Matthews, Bonga, even Cassius Winston. Robin Lopez probably plays mid-20s minutes. I think he's fine. I would personally rather get to Alex Len or Jordan Bell. I would rather take a shot in Len at basically min price. I think he's a decent point per minute guy. So yeah, I would honestly rather have him or even take a shot in Jordan Bell. I think these guys probably are going to have to get in the rotation. Because they're pretty thin at the front court. So, yeah, it's really hard to say at the moment, but definitely some value here with, like, Robinson, Matthews, Bonga, maybe even Cassius Winston, and then, like, the backup bigs if both Westbrook and Roll Neto are out. On the San Antonio side, so surprisingly, DeJounte Murray is in. I did not expect that at all. DeJounte Murray being in kind of downgrades everyone else, so they're all a little bit riskier plays. I think DeRozan is the clear play if you're going to make me pick here. Safe play with upside, right? He's filling up the stat sheet. Really do like the matchup for DeRozan. I think DeJounte Murray himself in GBPs is intriguing. Not a lot of people thought he would play in this game, so I think he'll be a little bit lower owned. Again, he does have some upside. The rest of the Spurs are GBP plays with DeJounte Murray back. Like, all these guys have upside, but it's just hard to figure out who's going to come from on a night-to-night basis. And finally, New York and Portland. So New York, I do really like Julius Randle. I think he's one of the best plays at the top. fantastic spot. He's playing huge minutes. Don't mind RJ Barrett too. Would prefer Randall, but definitely think you could play both. Mitchell Robinson losing minutes. Don't want to go there. Alfred Payton, probably not for me. Alec Burks below 5K does intrigue me. 31 and 27 minutes in back-to-back games. He shot the ball 3 of 14. Still put up 20 fantasy points. Again, good matchup here. So I think Alec Burks is a nice value play. I think you can make the argument for Nerlens Noel 3-4. He's been playing more minutes recently, 20 and 19 in close games. Again, he's a decent point per minute guy. So I actually think Nerlens Noel is viable. Would prefer him to Mitchell Robinson right now. And that's it for the next. Let's finish up with Portland. So Portland, we have Damian Lillard at the top. No CJ McCollum, no Nurkic. Offense is going to be through him. Even though the Knicks are good defensively, I do really like Dame at the top. I also really like Cantor, too, at 6'2". I think he's one of the best plays in the mid-range. Should play about 30 minutes. Again, great matchup here individually, right? Not really as a team, but it doesn't really matter for Cantor. He's a good point per minute guy. Not afraid of Mitchell Robinson or Randall or Nerlens Noel defense. So I think Enes Kanter is a nice player in the mid-range. The rest of the wings are fine. If you want to go like Covington, Melo, Trent Jr., Jones Jr., or Hood. Hood had a good shooting game. Last game, just be careful here, right? I think people might chase this. He's very reliant in the scoring, and he shot the ball lights out. So it's like, I'm not saying he's a terrible play. Don't expect 30 fantasy points again from Rodney Hood, right? So it's like, yes, he's in play, but just be a little bit careful here. I don't think he's like a smash play. I think people might chase it. So all those wings are fine options, but no real priorities for me. And that's it for the breakdown. Again, I told you guys this was going to go really quick. I want to leave some time for questions. So that was about 5-6 minute breakdown. Murray will start. Garland at a minutes limit. Okay, so yeah, again, we're still, the big news is Trae Young and Capella, and then the status of the Wizards. So like that's what we're waiting on right now. I think what you could do, honestly, is maybe even fade the first couple games to leave yourself some room in these last couple games. Now, again, there's some good plays, especially on the Orlando side. Like I really do like Vooch. I think a couple of those value plays are interesting. On the Charlotte side, you have Rozier, Graham. But yeah, that's what I got, guys. So let's get some questions. We are at over 200 viewers for a quick live stream on Sunday. Appreciate that, guys. Tampa wins. Good. I was hoping Tampa would win. DK, can you fade Giannis to play Vooch? Yeah, of course. You don't have to play Giannis. Both are in smash spots. I mean, I can't believe the Packers kicked there. That was insane. Birch or Len? That's a good question. I think Birch probably plays more minutes. We just don't know about Alex Len, right? Alex Len is a little bit of an unknown because he hasn't played yet this season for Washington. So it's like, I assume he's going to be the backup center, but something weird could happen. They could go like Jordan Bell as their backup center, and maybe Len barely plays. So it's like, I think the safer option is Birch at the moment. Len is more of the GBP player. Unknown, does have upside, right? He's actually a decent point per minute guy when he gets minutes. So like Len probably the GBP play, Birch probably the cash play. Middleton a good play today. I think below 8K is a solid play for sure. If I would agree with that. If Trae Young is out and Capella are out, if they're one or both are out, then yes, I am worried about the blowout. So then Giannis would be riskier for sure. Burks or Marcus Smart. I mean, if price doesn't matter, Marcus Smart, but I like the price better on Burks. Going all in with Len tonight. Again, it kind of just there's the unknown with Alex Len, right? It is a risk, but I assume he's going to be the backup center. And look, they're not going to play Robin Lopez 35 minutes, right? Trae Young playing, we don't know. Bacon for value, I'll pass. Rip my lineup was Ronald Jones. I mean, Ronald Jones wasn't a terrible play, right? He obviously, Leonard Fournette talked about it in the Patreon plus the Discord that Leonard Fournette was the optimal play, but Ronald Jones was again, decent pivot at lower ownership, just didn't work out. Packers just love, let's see, is Beal must play or can we fade Beal? Well, if Westbrook is in, Beal's not a must play. If Westbrook is out, Beal makes for one of the better spend ups of the slate. He'd be like a top 3 spend up. Is it okay, Enes, Vooch, and Birch, or could he go? I mean, again, depends what you're playing, right? Birch is definitely a safer option. Len's the unknown. I think Len has a little bit more upside if he plays about 20 minutes, but we don't know if that's going to happen. Len seems risky. Exactly. There's risk with Len. Any standout values? It's kind of hard to say at the moment, right? There's a couple guys from the Magic I think are viable. Like I think James Ennis looks okay. And then you have the Wizards value dependent on news, and then possibly some Hawks value dependent on news. So it's hard to say right now. Utility under 5,800. Let's see. 5,800 and utility. I mean, you can go Evan Fournier. You can. With no Aaron Gordon, he will have to do more offensively. It is a good matchup. So, I mean, I don't play him, but I think he's probably where I would go in that spot. Maybe Brook Lopez, but I think Fournier's got a little more upside if he's hitting his shots. Gary Clark, good value play. I would rather have Ennis, to be honest. LaMarcus Aldridge, fine play. With DeJounte Murray back, though, does take a little bit of a hit to him. Do you like Kemba tonight? I think he's still on the minutes limit. Again, I think he's like an okay play. Cantor or Vooch? Vooch if you can get to him. Fournier, bad cash play. I think you can go there. Again, he did have 9 assists. That's more of an outlier for him. With no Aaron Gordon in a good spot, he's viable for sure. Washington value, Matthews or Robinson. It depends. We don't know what the starting lineup news is right now, so it's hard to say. I'd prefer like whoever starts. Is it possible Beal plays like if the game blows out, he'll be limited. Beal or Lillard. Hard to say right now. With Westbrook status up in the air. If Westbrook plays, I would go Lillard. If Westbrook is out, probably lean Beal. CEH or Williams DK. I mean, it's probably going to be a 50-50 split with those two backs. I think I would give the edge to CEH, but that's not a strong take at all. Thoughts on Robinson if Westbrook and Ed are out? I think Robinson's a really solid value play. I would assume he would start the wing and probably play big minutes. Is Rondo a must play? I would say if Trae Young is out and Rondo starts, I would say he's a must play, yeah. But again, you need Trae Young to be out. If Trae Young's in, I don't want to play Rondo. Teague, Collins. See, not really interested in Jeff Teague. He's been playing limited minutes. Sexton, I'm not really interested either. Don't play JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee is not in the rotation. Do not play JaVale McGee. Playing Vooch and waiting for news in the later games. I think that's a good call. Like Vooch has a lot of upside. We don't know that. I mean, he was on a 26 to 28 minute last game. Maybe there's no minutes limit. We don't have news on that yet. Cam Reddish tonight, possibly if both Trae Young and I think he's like a fine play either way. But if like Trae or Capella or both are out, he does get a boost. Zeller or Birch. Zeller only played like 10 minutes last game. Most upside for guard tonight for cash depends. I think I'd rather have Beal if Westbrook's out, but it's close. Barrett, I do like Barrett. Jaylen Brown and DeMar DeRozan or Giannis and DeAndre Hunter. Hard to say right now. I would say the second option if we get one or both of those Hawks out, but we don't know that right now. And again, we got a lot coming up, so you got to make a tough call. What about Melo? Fine. DK, have you been cold or hot on NBA? It's been a little up and down. Should I stick with a DeRozan, Aldridge, Johnson stack with Murray playing? I mean, you can. I don't like it as much. It is a really good spot for the Spurs, but with DeJounte Murray in, that does affect the rest of the guys. My poor DraftKings balance have been slowly dwindling down and sucked lately. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Everyone goes on cold streaks, right? I had a really cold start to the season because of all those blowouts and injuries plus ejections. Then went on a nice little run, and then last couple days have been a little bit slow. But, I mean, that's how it goes, right? If you're playing GPPs like myself, you're playing for the big hit, right? I'm not really looking for min cashing tournaments. I'm going for first place. So for cash games, of course, I don't play cash games, but you're obviously just looking to cash there. Best punt play, Matthews or Robbins. Again, depends on the starting lineup news. Probably would prefer whoever does start, or if both start, then it's basically a coin flip. Cole Anthony, thoughts? Fine option. DeRozan or Brown? DeRozan for me. I'll take him for the discount. I know Brown had a big game last game. People might chase that. I don't think Brown's a terrible play, but don't expect 62 again from him. So yeah, again, Brown's fine, but I don't expect another big game from him. Yeah, it's really hard to say with the value guys at the moment because we're just waiting on that news. And that just depends. That just changes the slate, right? So we don't know on Washington. We don't know Atlanta value. So it's the question of, are you willing to risk it and wait? Or do you want to play some guys in this early game and just say screw it? Up to you. Why no Jeff Teague? He's just not playing enough minutes. Even with Peyton Pritchard going down last game, Jeff Teague played 18 minutes. And again, that was when Pritchard got injured, right? It wasn't like he got injured like late in the game. Peyton Pritchard played 2 minutes and got injured. In that game, Jeff Teague only played 18 minutes. So I don't expect much more than like maybe 20 minutes from him. Again, you can go there, but I think there's possibly better value plays. Safe to play Graham. I think I feel a little bit better about the Charlotte guards now. Based on minutes recently, right? Early on in the season, they were up and down, but 35, 36, 37, 38, 38. He's getting the minutes right now, so I do think Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier are both safer options right now. Bacon in play, he's fine. His role doesn't change a whole lot. He's pretty reliant in the scoring. I would probably rather have other value plays. But yeah, I think we probably get about 20 minutes from Bacon. All right, guys, a couple more questions that I do have to get out here. Smart or Fournier? The upside, honestly, is probably a little bit higher at Fournier if things go right. I think Smart is a little bit of a higher floor. Melo revenge game, sure. Graham, Robinson, Brown, Randall, Vucevic, Rondo, Enes Kanter. Again, I think that's solid right now, but just depends on news. I'm playing 3 from Orlando. That's fine. Again, Vucevic obviously looks really good. Best GPP center. GPP center, I mean, I don't know. Vooch is going to be popular, right? I mean, I really like Vooch. Giannis, too, at the top. So it's like Vooch and Giannis at the top. Kanter in the mid-range. Cheap centers. I think you can make an argument for a guy like Nerlens Noel. And he's been playing decent minutes. Maybe you take a shot at Noel. Alex Len. I think those two are like good GPP centers. Like Alex Len, Nerlens Noel. Those guys intrigue me for GPPs. Dame time today? I think Dame looks like a good option at the top, yeah. Neto a solid GBP play if Westbrook's out. So we're not getting him an amazing discount, but I think Neto would be certainly viable if he starts. Pat Connaughton, I just don't think we have to do it. I mean, he's fine, but like on a slate where there's not a lot of value, I would say yeah. But this slate, there's already Washington value, again, dependent somewhat on news. Run it back with Randall. I mean, yeah, I do like Randall. Cantor or Mitchell? Wait, which Mitchell? Oh, Cantor, Mitchell, Robinson. Yeah, Cantor for sure. They're over Mitchell Robinson for me. I like T. Like you said, go with your guy. Yeah, hey, if you really like T, go with it. Again, I was wrong about Jaylen Brown last night, and he went off. So it's like I'm going to be wrong a lot. I'm not saying like he's a terrible play, but I just prefer other value. Birch is viable. Westbrook is in. Okay, that is pretty big news. Let's close it out on this, guys. If Westbrook is in, that does obviously hurt the value. Westbrook available to play. Yeah. So we don't know on the starting lineup news yet, but Westbrook playing, downgrade Beal a bit. And then we just got to see what the starting lineup's going to be for the Wizards. So we'll just have to take a wait and see approach here. But yeah, definitely downgrade Beal a bit. I think both are solid options at the top, but neither are a priority. Garrison Matthews again, we need to see the starting lineup. So yeah, DJ Augustine, no, I wouldn't do it. All right, guys, I do have to get out of here. I know it was a really, really quick live stream, but I got to go stream for Patreon. So good luck tonight, guys. Keep an eye on the news. Wait for that Wizards starting lineup. And I will see you guys all later.